Father power, the kind of power that fathers have, takes time and cultivation. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting all over the world through the lens of the principles self-government. And in this video, we're talking about the unique power that fathers have. Fathers have a unique power and influence over their children. In this video, we're going to be talking about what that unique bond and influence feels like, and then we're going to talk about things that you can do to nurture and cultivate that father-child bond. We all have different love languages. There are 5 different love languages. If you've read the Love Languages book, then you know that. My husband's main love language is service. He loves to give service to other people, and consequently, he is always going and doing something for someone, oftentimes for me or the children, but we have certainly felt ourselves served by him. He will work and work and work until he is able to know that everybody has been taken care of. It's truly a wonderful thing to watch, to witness. One of my favorite, also probably most heartfelt memories of my husband is when he was a young father, and he sacrificed so much to serve for our family. I remember that for a period of a couple of years, he was in school, and we had some young children, and he didn't get to be home with us that often because he had 2 jobs as well as school, because he was doing the school for a new career, and the jobs led to that career as well. So he was very, very busy. And so I was home a lot, and he didn't get to see the children a lot. This was his touch with the children. Every morning at about 6 a.m., he would go into their beds and he would give them kisses and whisper how much he loved them. And then he would leave. And he would go to his first job, and then he would go to school, and then he would go to his second job. And then he would come back home, and they would all be in bed. Sometimes I would even be in bed because it might be like 11 p.m. And then he would go into their rooms, and he would kiss them again, and then come and kiss me, and he would go to bed. I'm sorry, to this day, I still get very emotional about this because that is such great love. He gave me all of the most beautiful moments with the children. He gave me all the connections and all the ahas and all the laughs and funs and giggles, and he just gave a kiss and went to work. That is deep love. That is deep sacrifice, deep service. And I know that there are fathers all over the planet who give that gift of all of the happiness, all of the giggles and the laughing to their wives. And they let their children have those moments when they don't necessarily get to have them for themselves because of what they're doing to serve their families. But do you know that even being away from the family does an incredible thing for the children? In fact, there's a type of a power that comes with that sacrifice. He appreciates his children so much when he's with them because he doesn't get to be with them all of the time. He appreciates his family and his spouse, and he's happy when he's with them because he doesn't get to be with them all the time. They see that they are important enough that he will go out into the world and slay the dragons, hoping to be with them throughout the entire day. All for them. Now, maybe those words aren't actually spoken deliberately. They could be, and I highly recommend they should be. But if they're not, the unspoken message is, I care enough about you to not be able to be here sometimes because of all the work I have to do. And then when I'm here, I'm fully here and I'm all in, and it's not about me and what I want, but it's about my family. That's what my husband did. My husband used to play tennis and sing and play trumpet and do all these things. But you know what? Once that phase of life hit, he hardly ever played tennis. And he used to win tournaments of tennis. He was so good at it. But it was Provide for the family, be with the family when I can. Provide for the family, be with the family when I can. And then he would tell me when he came home how he knew that I was sacrificing so much. He appreciated what I went through because he wasn't there. I know that is the story of many families. And fathers, before I go on to talk about this power you have, I hope you know that just your very influence, your sacrifice, shows everyone how important the family is. That right there is power. That right there cannot be underestimated. Your children will know how important family is because of your sacrifice for it. I know so many of you also have touching moments where your fathers have had a great impact on your life too, for the better. Leave a comment about that. Let everybody else know, inspire everybody else about what your father's sacrifice of time has done to your heart. Because truly, whenever a parent sacrifices for a child, there is a heart shift that happens. So what are some key things that you can do? Well, as was mentioned, time is important. And I know that everybody has a shortage of time, but making sure that when you're there with the family, you're really there. You're really present. Don't think about that box or that phone or that digital device. Those devices are distracting mothers and fathers, but I will say that I have noticed that they do seem to be slightly more distracting to fathers, just generally. And so try to push those ideas out of your mind. This means that you might need to give yourself a no answer and say, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm putting priorities first. I promise you, once they all leave the nest, you'll be able to have a lot more time to watch whatever programming that you want. It's just not worth sacrificing those precious moments with the children, not when they need to have those cuddles from you and know that they belong. So this brings me to another thing. I mentioned the love language of service, but there are other love languages as well. One of those that really helps children is touch. If a father cuddles his child, touches them, gives them a kiss on the cheek, touches their hair, puts his arm around them, if a father does that, it does something to a child. That really shows the acceptance and belonging, but there's a feeling that runs very deep with it. One of my most precious moments with my father happened when we were standing at the finish line for a race that we were in, waiting for my sister to come over, and he put his arm around me and he whispered to me what he thought about me and how he felt about me. And that has fueled me for so many years of my life. When you touch your children in loving ways, it's power. Another love language is words of affirmation. Write them a letter once in a while. Call them up. Talk to them. My husband always says, oh, you called so-and-so. What did they say? And I'm like, you should call them. His thing is not words. He loves to get words of affirmation, but he doesn't necessarily like to always give the words of affirmation or just even do the words in general. But boy, they value it when dad calls. It means something to them. It probably means way more than when mom calls, because mom calls all the time. Call them. Talk to them. Ask them about their day. Pray with them. Pray over them. Those are words that will have deep impact on their lives. In fact, that act of prayer is an act of protection for your child, and they see you actively protecting them or wanting their protection. They also see your humility if you call upon God to ask for their protection. That is power. Obviously, there's other things too. There's, quality time, which is important, giving them the most you can of your time. And then, of course, there's gifts, which is also another love language. I will say that you honoring mother is probably going to change the trajectory of your child's life. So make sure you honor mother and the role of mother. So if you've listened to some of my other father videos, I talk about how fathers teach their children acceptance. Children go to their mothers for wisdom and their fathers for acceptance. They feel complete with the two of those. But a wise father points his child towards his mother's wisdom. In fact, a wise father honors the standards that mother sets. Ooh, I know that feels hard sometimes, doesn't it? Don't say those words. Don't watch that thing. Don't listen to that thing. Mothers are picky when it comes to their babies, right? And dads oftentimes think, why is this such a big deal? But trust me, it is. If you create division in that husband and wife relationship, if you try to dominate her and don't listen to her wisdom, or if she tries to dominate you, she will make it so that the children won't get their acceptance. Mother has the power to either turn her children's hearts toward father or away from father from the time they are young. A wise mother turns the child's heart toward father and his acceptance and his love and his wisdom, and a wise father turns the hearts back toward the mother. And as those two hearts turn the children the other way, the children have the greatest result. They have the greatest maturity, the greatest security. They have the greatest sense of identity, purpose, value. They usually make better choices and find better people to have relationships with and to marry. Father and mother pointing the direction of the child toward each other is power. Fathers, you are so powerful. As you unify with mothers in the work of raising the children, as you give your whole heart, your whole lives like you're doing, it does not escape the notice of your children. Just the security that they feel because you are doing the things you're doing actually gives them the freedom and the capacity to step out of their comfort zones, to tackle new things, and to follow your example. Fathers are powerful. Now, sometimes fathers get a little bit aggressive to show their power, but true power comes from being calm. And since you've stayed to the end of this video, I have a gift for you. It is a free course. It's a mini course, so it won't take too much of your time. You can listen to it on the road. It's called the Calm Parenting Toolkit. And there are 10 tools for how to be calm when someone else isn't, how to help them get calm without losing your calmness at the same time. And it will add to your power in all of your relationships if you can be calm. In the description below this video, there is a link to the Calm Parenting Toolkit. It says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. Click on the link to that now and have the Calm Parenting Toolkit help you even become more powerful than you already are. Thank you, fathers. I hope I can help you just a little bit more. Click on the link below.